Hi everyone. Having enough fluid in the body is essential for it to function properly, and pretty much every aspect of our health and well-being depends on getting enough fluid, from maintaining the correct body temperature to digestion to organ function and elimination of waste. Let's take a look at how to tell if your dog is dehydrated and how to encourage them to drink more. Even if you're not a Star Trek fan, you may have come across the term ugly bags of mostly water. It was used by microscopic crystal aliens in a Next Generation episode, and they used it to describe the humans that they encountered. And it's a pretty accurate description of us and of dogs whose bodies are 65-70% water. Greyhounds have low body fat, which doesn't hold as much water as muscle does. And this means they're likely to have a higher proportion of their body weight made up of water than other breeds might with more body fat. And there can be a daily turnover of some 45% of the body's weight during exercise in cold conditions, and a much higher need for water during exercise in hot weather. The body needs a certain amount of fluid to function properly, and there's a simple balance between the amount of water taken into the body and the amount of water leaving the body. If too much is leaving the body compared with the amount going in, dehydration results. It's just a simple equation, a balance between the two. So on a minor level, it can mean feeling a bit out of sorts, maybe having a headache, or if it becomes extreme, then it can be very dangerous. It can even be life-threatening. There are a couple of simple checks you can do for dehydration that you can do at home. The first one is very, very simple. All you need to do is to just gently pinch the skin on the back of the neck. And if they are well hydrated, this so-called skin tent will go back down very quickly when you let go. If they're dehydrated, it might stay in that place or go back down much more slowly. And this is sometimes called the skin tent test. Another quick check that you can do is to look at their gums. These should be moist and a general kind of mid-pink colour. And in a dehydrated dog, they're going to be drier. They might feel a bit sticky, and they might be a darker pink. Some greyhounds do have dark pigmentation on their gums and on their tongue as well sometimes. So if there are darker patches, that's probably just their coloration, and it doesn't hurt to have a look so you know what their gums look like normally. And if it is a darker pink and stickier than normal, this is a sign of dehydration. If dehydration is related to overheating, it can be as simple as encouraging them to drink more water. As they don't actually sweat except through their pores, they lose water rather than electrolytes. So plain water is usually enough. But if you are concerned, you can get sachets of salts, which can be made up into a rehydrating fluid. And these are available over the counter. You don't need to go to the vet to get them. But what if they don't want to have a drink? Sometimes it's not about not wanting to drink, it's that they don't want to drink from the arrangements that are available for drinking from. So if they don't want to drink from what you've provided, it could be they have some hang-ups about the setup. It might be to do with the location of the bowl, to do with the reflections on a metal bowl, or the sounds from their tag clanking on the bowl if they wear a collar. It could be what the bowl is made of. Is it china? Is it metal? Is it glass? It could also be the taste, as although their sense of taste isn't as good as ours in general, they do have special taste buds for water. And this is why I found that those additives that you put in the water to help their teeth have not been very successful for me, because as soon as I put it in, no one wants to drink from the bowl with that added, and they go off and they have a drink from somewhere else instead. So all of my bowls do have tap water in, but the taste of it in the metal bowl might be different to them compared with the taste of it in a different container. And an easy place to start with a dog that doesn't seem to want to drink much is try putting some different bowls in different places, bowls made of different materials and at different heights. So mine all prefer to drink from the 2 bird baths outside rather than the bowl indoors. And in fact, that's why they're there for the dogs. The birds drink from the pond and the dogs drink from the bird bath. The bowl indoors is there all the time, but AJ in particular would much prefer to go outside to have a drink from the bird bath than use the bowl indoors. So by trying different types of bowls in different places, and you might find that they drink better from one location and one type of bowl than another. And it's not always just about the bowl and the location. There could be more than that, in which case the next step might be to try flavouring the water slightly. So you could add a splash of milk. You could try mushing a bit of wet food into the water. You could try adding or using spring water or rainwater. Another option to boost their water intake, of course, is to add more water to their food, especially if you feed a dry food. So mine have quite a lot of water added to the food, about a finger depth in the bottom of the bowl. Or you might soak the food beforehand. You'll be surprised how much water is absorbed in the kibble. And then you can, of course, add more water to make it into a kind of soup at the point that you feed them. The flip side of this, which does sometimes happen with newly homed dogs, is that they drink a lot. And I've spoken to a fair few owners over the years whose new hound has been drinking a lot of water and they've been worried that the dog might be diabetic. But typically, the chances are that this is because they're worried and they're drinking because of anxiety. And in that situation, of course, it's going to settle down with time as they get used to the home. Of course, if it was noted in the kennel before you got them, or it continues, then you could speak to the rescue. And of course, you could consult with your vet to get that checked out. Diabetes is not the only medical condition that can lead to changes in drinking or dehydration. It could be related to sickness, especially linked with diarrhea or vomiting, and it can also be linked to kidney failure, amongst other things. So if your greyhound does have poor kidney function, the body might not be reabsorbing water properly when they drink it, and the too much is being passed out in the wee. And if that is happening, they're going to need to drink more because they're losing more than they should be. It's getting a little bit chaotic here. He says, I can't reach, Mummy. One of my dogs, Paddy, he had a kidney failure and he used to drink a lot of water and wee a lot as well. And it was very, very dilute. And in the winter we managed, but in the summer when it got hotter and he was needing more water for other reasons because of the heat, it just became too much and we had to let him go, sadly. So if you are seeing a change in their water consumption, more or less than normal, and it isn't easily fixed by simple things like them not liking the bowl or wanting it to taste different, then you do need to go to the vet and seek advice. And if there is a bigger cause for it, get that treated. So if you've enjoyed this video, please do give us a thumbs up and don't forget to check my related videos on hot weather and heat stroke. And that's quite good timing because I've just got this one piece of kibble left. Although I see a piece there. We got one each, huh? You guys, one each. One for you and one for the... Oh, AJ's going to have it. There you go, sweetheart. Right, that's it. All gone, Jim. Right, so no kibble. End of video time. That's all for today. We'll be back again soon. Bye for now.